We have with us this morning from the Decatur County Foundation, Jenni Hanna. Good morning, Jenni.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. It's been a while since I've been in to see everybody or to see you guys, so it's
Good to see
nice
ya.
to see everybody again. Yeah.
You guys at the foundation always hopping.
Hopping, especially this time of year. It's Easter, right? We're hopping.
Yeah. I chose
That was
my words carefully.
Boom, boom. That was a Sandy line right there.
Yeah, is this an off month or a month? The small grants are the even months.
Wow, you are good.
Right?
You're on it. Our small grants are due on the even month, so the 5th of every even month. So that deadline is approaching very quickly, April 5th. So we're just a couple weeks out from those being due. And our large grants just didn't wrap up. They just sort of started, but we're just in the process. The window has closed to apply for those, but now we're in the process of reviewing those. So, yeah, and we'll be determining grant award winners at the end of April. So April's kind of a busy month for grants. We've got the small grants, the large grants, and potentially some ag grants coming up too. So we've got a busy month in April, as is every month, I guess.
So scholarship grants are probably all. They're probably all done, aren't they?
The applications are closed, and all the committees are in the process of reviewing those right now. So in those scholarships, we have multiple committees because some people, if they choose to create a scholarship, also want to be the ones to select the winner of the scholarship. Not everybody chooses to select their winner, but a lot of them do want to select their own recipient. So we have multiple committees for scholarships. Those are a big process, definitely a big process. But we've got I think 56 scholarships, something like that. So it's definitely a cool process because there's a lot of winners that come out of it, and helping some kids along. So always good.
And in some cases, the folks who want to select their own scholarships will also be there to make them presentations, won't they?
Yes, and that to me kind of comes full circle. You kind of create the scholarship for a reason. You want to honor somebody or memorialize somebody. So you create the scholarship to kind of keep their name out there to start with, and then the kids apply, and then to be able to actually meet that student on awards day. That's kind of a neat full circle. And then this year, this will be our second year, we're going to have a little ceremony, kind of a reception, so that our award winners can actually meet, get pictures with, learn about the history of the scholarship, that sort of thing. So they'll be able to meet the person who started the scholarship. We did that for the first time last year, and that was really neat. We had some scholarship folks who started their scholarships and were really interested in getting to know the recipients a little bit more.
So was that done at the foundation office, or was that?
Last year we did it off-site. We had a reception venue off-site that we did it at, and we'll do the same, I'm sure, again this year.
Probably because
it was a
big,
large gathering. But it was really, I think, really neat. So, and I think those who attended enjoyed it too. So, pretty cool.
Probably just going to grow and grow from here.
I would imagine, because we seem to pick up a couple new scholarships, a couple new that are started every year. So there's definitely the potential that it'll grow.
So now the trade school one, is it still?
Yeah, it's not a mystery one so much anymore. We did unveil the person who started that, but and that was Jay DeMoss, Jay and Libby Rhodes DeMoss. Jay was a tradesman, by trade.
Yeah.
He always was one to work with his hands, and was very successful at it, and wanted to just encourage kids to continue and to explore the trades. So that's just one of a few trades scholarships that we have. Those are becoming more and more popular, actually. So
I would think they would be, as we see
the
focus put in the schools with developing a trade.
Back into that focus of using your hands. And again, that can be anything from air conditioning, heating, construction, hairstylists, grooming, pet grooming, that sort of thing. I mean, there's so many avenues that you can take that. So that's definitely a growing area.
So now, are those all closed too?
Yes.
Or those are too?
Everything that we have is closed. It closed January 31st.
Okay.
And that's partly because it takes so long for those scholarship committees to review everything and for us to get all those results in. And then Jenni Shebler, our scholarship manager, organizes all the. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a good thing she's a very organized person because it is a lot.
She takes possession of that, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Yes, she does. And we're happy to let her do that.
Yep.
But she does a great job with it. So she's very, very organized.
So you talked when we were talking about scholarships, and you mentioned memorializing, and so what we're going to talk about now is in memory of Bill Smith, and what's
exactly
a donation his wife Linda made.
She
to
was
the foundation?
one of those several years ago, and I should have looked up the actual year that this started. I want to say it was back in like 2008, 2009, that there was an ACCDC Freedom Trail Project fund that started up. Actually, I did write down 2003, so it was even a little older than I thought.
Okay.
It started up in order to kind of keep to the forefront the history of the Underground Railroad in Decatur County. They wanted to be able to have some funds available to do projects and to just kind of keep that in the forefront of people's minds, how Decatur County did play a role in the Underground Railroad back in the 1800s. So we, because the fund was started at the foundation, we've been a part of this upcoming project on April 5th, which John Pratt is kind of spearheading. Linda Smith, of course, is a big part of it since it is in memory of her husband. Bill was one of the founders of this Freedom Trail Project Fund, original founders of that as well. But anyway, that will be on April 5th, and the whole day is just dedicated to recognizing the history that Decatur County played in the Underground Railroad. I won't go into the details of the history because I am not nearly as educated on it as John, but Decatur County did play a big role in it, and we, of course, have several, or have a couple anyway, monuments in the county, markers in the county that recognize some of the history that we did play, the roles that we played here in Decatur County. So I am not nearly as well spoken on the topic as what they are. I just want to mostly encourage people to come out to the Greensburg Decatur County Library on that day to listen to some lectures, to hear some music from the time period, that sort of thing. There are several folks that are coming out, and I've got some names here. It looks like there's David Crawley at 9:00. He'll start with the religious roots of anti-slavery in Indiana, with special attention to Decatur County. From 10 to 11, there will be Joanna Hahn. She's a lecturer, and she'll be talking on she's a lecturer from the Central Region Director at the Levi and Catherine Coffin State Historic Site. Okay. So she's got that tie. And then from 11 to noon, Anne Hagedorn will be here. She is the best-selling author and former Wall Street Journal reporter, presenting on her book, which is called Beyond the River, The Untold Story of the Heroes of the Underground Railroad. So there are some very knowledgeable speakers who will be here that morning at the library, starting on the hour, beginning at 9, and then the last one will be from 11 to 12. And those are free. We encourage people to come out and listen to those lectures and
April
learn.
5th.
April 5th, exactly. And then in the afternoon, from 1 to 2, the Carnegie Quartet will be performing music from the Underground Railroad era. I guess it wasn't an era. From 2:30 to 3:30, the Hot Horns will be here. There'll be a 5-piece horn band and playing jazz, Dixieland, and the blues. And then wrapping up that afternoon, 3:45 to 4:30, the 35th Indiana Pipes and Drums. They'll be playing some traditional Civil War music. So John Pratt's done a great job of planning some neat activities that day. So and really it's an all-day event starting at 9 and wrapping up at 4:30. And then, of course, in between, and this is really the kind of the star maybe of the day, are the bus tours that are going on. Those are all sold out. We don't have any seats available as of now, but there is a waiting list. So if folks want to at least get online to be on the waiting list, because we did have a cancellation just 2 days ago. Somebody reached out and canceled. So I know that waiting list is moving up. People are moving up on that waiting list. But the tours will be stopping by the various sites that were historical markers in Decatur County because they played a part in the Underground Railroad.
Now, didn't Bill do a book, too?
He sure did. He sure did. And so there will be, that book is actually in the process of being redone and being updated a little bit, some additional information.
Found some additional information.
Exactly. They found additional info, so they've added that to the book. And there will be a few copies available I don't know that they're available to purchase, but you can at least take a look at it, and you can put in an order for the book that day. And if I'm wrong, John will, I'm sure, if he's listening, call in and correct me. But I know that there will be a few more or less finished versions of the book. So I think they're hoping to have a few available for sale, but I don't know that the time will quite, that'll quite happen. So, but anyway, there will at least be some samples to look through at a minimum to take a look at. So pretty cool that they were able to get some additional information and expand on that book. So we're excited about that. There's a lot of work has gone into it on John's part and Linda's part in particular. So, and then of course there's a display at the museum, the local historical society museum. So there'll be John has come across some photos of the time period and some different documents from the time period.
Oh, he has?
Yeah. So those will be on display at the museum that day. So
just that day?
It'll be in addition. There'll be additional days, but I know that it'll be available.
Definitely on that day.
Mm-hmm, for sure. So he's done a lot. So we hope people come out and take advantage of all of his hard work, and we're also hoping that there's some warm weather to make it a better day. Oh, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention on the tours. So even though the docent-led tours are booked up, there is the possibility of doing self-led tours, because we have brochures that have QR codes that will be associated with various sites. So if you are one who can do scanning, use the QR codes and be comfortable with how that process works, you can take your own tour of sorts. The QR codes will kind of take you from point A to point B to point C. You'll have to do your own driving, but you can follow the codes and check it out on your own. So there is a self-guided option as well. So lots of, because there are more people who want to
do that anytime, right?
Yep, exactly. Which is kind of the beauty of it. For sure. So.
Okay. And if you do have a seat on the bus right now and you find out you're not going to be able to go,
please let us know. Yeah. Call the foundation, 812-662-6364, and we will notify the proper chain of authorities, and that way we can open up those seats to somebody else. Thank you for pointing that out. Very good call.
And sometimes it's can be last minute before you know you're not going to make it.
Exactly. If you're not feeling well, or if if it's raining and you're kind of like, which we hope not, that's not the case. But if you aren't wanting to get out, if it's cold or whatever the case might be, so
still let them know.
Let us know. Yeah. Absolutely, let us know.
Okay. So. Anything else this morning for the foundation?
There are two other events that I wanted to kind of bring up just quickly. April 7th, shortly after. Well, the afternoon of April 7th, we'll be announcing our next Stephen Decatur Award winner.
Okay.
Our Stephen Decatur Award winner is kind of like our Volunteer of the Year, somebody who's been a big part, not only, though, of the Community Foundation, but of the whole community, the entire county. So we will be announcing that on April 7th. We're going to be having sort of a special event going on that day. We've had 22 winners of the Stephen Decatur over the years, so we're going to be adding another name to that list.
April April 7th.
April 7th. So be
You gonna
watching.
reveal who it is?
Yeah, not now. I'm not. It's a surprise.
Well, I had to ask.
You would not
would
be
be
doing your
remiss if
job.
I didn't ask.
Exactly. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up, April 23rd is our Women and Girls Fund Garden Tea Party. So we've got a great committee who is in the process of planning that, doing a really good job of planning some neat events for that. Right now, we've already sold 153 tickets, which in previous venues we'd be near selling out, but we're in a little bit bigger venue this year.
Okay.
So we've got about another 100 seats available. But we expect those to go pretty quickly. So the main thing is, if anybody's interested in attending that, we do encourage you to get your tickets now. I do want to explain sort of what we do. We've had some people say, well, what do you do at this? So the main thing that we do is award 3 grants to projects that are focused on benefiting and enhancing women and girls and children, I should say, women and children's projects in Decatur County. So in the past, we've done things like New Directions did some safety defense classes, kind of self-defense 101. We've done some scholarshiping for people who wanted to return to school for continuing education. We did added to the Pink Ribbon Fund at the hospital several years ago. So it's all sort of projects that are designed to focus on enhancing the lives of women or children in the county. And this year we have 3 recipients who will be receiving between $1,000 and $1,500 to help with their projects that are also focused on women and children. So we'll be announcing those that evening. And then we have a featured speaker, Charlotte Bischoff. I don't know if you know her or not. She's apparently a native of Decatur County. I've not met her. I don't know her, but several on the committee know her. She used to be I think, if I remember correctly, a teacher at North Elementary, maybe. Anyway, she has since moved out of the area, but has started her own business. It's a window box gardener it's also called Porch Pots Direct. I think it's kind of their sister companies. Anyway, so she's going to be coming and kind of showing us some neat ideas for spring decorating with your flowers, with gardening, and how to do some really neat garden boxes and that sort of thing. So, we're ready for that, right? Who isn't ready for spring gardening and flowers, and especially since it's kind of spitting some rain today and it's cloudy. We're ready for some spring. Bring it on. So she'll be there that day, that evening, giving us some hints and tips, and maybe there'll be some cool prize giveaways that evening too, just perhaps, So we encourage anybody interested in coming out. And of course, it's just a good chance for women to rub shoulders with women and girls. We've got several young girls who are coming that evening too.
Okay.
And we anticipate just kind of a fun floral garden theme.
Well, you can't go wrong with talking to gardening.
You
just can't.
You can't. And am I allowed to say where it is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
It's fine.
We're hosting it at Into the Woods.
Yes.
Kind of around the New Point area.
That's cool.
It is really cool, and a lot of people haven't had a chance to see it yet. I had not seen it until we kind of scoped out the venue in December to see, imagine how it would all work. So that's also a nice draw for people to check out one of the newest venues in town.
We attended the New Directions event there.
Yes.
And it's like...
It's into the woods, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very pretty views.
It is. Good place to have an event, especially
a spring garden event.
Yeah, spring garden.
It's kind of perfect.
What'd you call it? Porch Pot
Porch
Design?
Pots Direct.
Porch Pot.
Say that 3 times fast, right?
I
Porch Pots Direct.
That should be good for a prize. You should do that.
Maybe. Great idea, Sandy.
People compete. Porch Pot Direct. Porch Pot.
Oh, yeah, that part.
See how long you can say without going.
See how many times you can say it.
Yeah,
exactly.
What did you think I was talking about?
I thought maybe you meant a porch pot.
Oh.
Which,
maybe
would be a great idea. So that will be one of the
twister.
giveaways.
Yeah.
One of the giveaways. So we've got several things going on. You are able to get tickets online on our website, dccfound.org. You can go on the website and purchase tickets electronically, or give us a call and we can get that arranged for you. Stop in the office and we can get that arranged for you that way as well. So. But yeah, like I said, we're already at, as of yesterday, 153 tickets. And since it is a larger venue, we have a little more room to grow. But last year we maxed out at 200 people. So this would have been well on our way to selling out the event already.
And again, this event, April 23rd?
April 23rd. It's a Wednesday evening. Trying to think if there's anything else to kind of share about it. Deb Sellers will be doing our evening meal, which is very, very... It'll be very, light. It's a light meal, but
garden
it's very
salad?
garden. It's very garden-esque. So, garden salad is a little bit more than that. It'll be a light meal, but it'll be just some different
Well, that
salads.
does seem to go with the theme.
It
garden
does.
Salad.
It does. You're right. But I think it'll be fun to be in our little floral dresses and all. It'll be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, and we did just have our annual meeting. I did want to share that too. We had that down in Westport earlier in March. It was the one morning where we had some slick roads out at Lake Santee, and we had to be in Westport by 7 that morning.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a rough morning for me. And I am a fair weather person, so I'm a bad weather weenie. I wimp out if the weather is bad. So, but made it down there. Of course, we talked about last year's accomplishments, but really one of the biggest highlights, we gave away 300. And when I say we gave away, it was really our donors. Without our donors, the foundation's not making grants, period. So our donors, because of their generosity, and we were ultimately giving out $361,367.93 in grants. And in scholarships, there were just over $300,000 in scholarships in 2024. So that's $660-some thousand that we were able to give back to the community just in grants and scholarships last year. So, and that doesn't account for any grants we've received through Lilly Endowment.
Okay.
That in itself, we've brought in more than that, thanks to the Lilly Endowment through the grants that we've applied for and the Lilly Scholarship itself. So Lilly has brought in well over, with the mental health grant, we're going to be approaching $6 million into the community. So, we're thankful to the Lilly Endowment for their support of community foundations. They believe in what the foundations do, and a lot of what we do is because of them. So thanks to our donors, local donors, and thanks to those corporations like the Lilly Endowment. And
well, wasn't Lilly the instrumental piece of foundation starting?
Yes, exactly. They put a challenge out there to every county. If you could raise X amount of dollars to establish and begin a community foundation, then they would match it. So that was our original impetus for getting started. So you're right. And it's kind of amazing that they have that much foresight, that they have that much, just the ability to plant those seeds in communities, and people can just grab onto it. And that's something Bill Smith was a big part of. We mentioned him earlier as his connection to the Underground Railroad, but he was really one of our founders as well. The Community Foundation wouldn't be here without him, and without Bill Robbins, without Bob Bostic, without Howard Sanders. And
I'm trying to visualize it because they were all at the
at a meeting a few years ago.
I was thinking about that. It was an annual meeting held at the where the Tree County Players.
Yes,
it was just I believe just shortly after they had taken over.
Yes, and Adrian Scripture, John Correa. I went out on a really dangerous limb there trying to name it.
Yeah, because I'm trying to go through my mind and people.
If I've missed somebody, I'm sorry.
The folks who were there for that.
Yeah.
Because that was really cool.
It was
to have
cool.
the founders
It was
of the
cool.
foundation.
Yeah. that's pretty special.
Yeah, I know we're missing somebody or two.
Yeah, probably. And I'm sorry.
You did a good job.
But I'm close. I'm very close to having everybody anyway. So, and then, of course, Herb Scheidler was the first executive director, volunteer executive director for the foundation. And he happened to be one of the, I think the first, he was the first Stephen Decatur Society winners.
Is that right?
When we talk about the volunteers, he was our very first one to receive that, rightfully so.
From a radio standpoint, he was Happy Herb.
I remember that.
That was his commercials.
I remember
from Taft.
From Taft. I remember growing up and hearing Happy Herb.
Happy Herb.
Yeah. Mary would be very proud. So, anyway, we're up to some good stuff. Always up to some good stuff, and always willing to talk to anybody who's interested in finding their path, of giving. If they want to be able to support their favorite charity forever, then we're definitely a good option to do that. Our donors' dollars are invested through us. We have an investment committee who finds the best ways of investing those dollars, and then the interest that is made off of those investments that's what goes back into the community for grants and scholarships and that sort of thing. So that original donation is never touched. So it's endowed. So that's what we do, and that's what we enjoy doing, and thanks to the community, hopefully that's what we'll continue doing. So.
All right, Jenni Hanna, anything else?
That is it. I appreciate the time this morning, and if anybody wants more info, we're at dccfound.org or 812-662-6364.
And that's the Decatur County Community Foundation. It's 941 WTRE.